Hi, I'm DelusionDispeller, back to talk to you more about why it was not your fault. All the abuse, the narcissism, the torment, the things that you went through, you did not bring it on yourself. You were just a child. None of that was your fault or your doing. So let's talk about why, again, it was not your fault. The child of the narcissist must always believe that the adult knows what's best for them. We are conditioned as children to believe that adults know best. Mother knows best. Father knows best. We're always taught that there's this like father, like son, like mother, like daughter, all these harmful cliches that really weren't meant to be harmful, but in narcissistic families really are, because it causes the narcissistic adult female to try to clone the child into a mini version of her, a mini me, if you will. Same thing with the fathers, a lot of times. Narcissistic sperm donors, as I call them. So that really does great disservice in dysfunctional families to have these cliches, and often the narcissist will even say these type of things. Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as if this little child is somehow attached to them at the hip and meant to make them look good. That's very sick and disturbing and wrong to do to a child. The narcissistically raised child can never own up to perfect. They can never measure up to perfect the standards of the narcissistic adult, because no matter what they do, that narcissistic adult will find something wrong with what they did, and somehow that they didn't measure up, that they will never be good enough, that they will never attain this perfection that they demand of them. In essence, it's a no-win situation being raised by a narcissistic parent, or so-called parent. I hate even using that word parent, because they so do not earn the right to be called that. Furthermore, if an adult is also borderline, which is common along with narcissism, and I'm seeing that more and more and more in these situations that where I have clients come to me and need help. A lot of times the person that they're saying is narcissistic is often borderline, more so than narcissistic, and sometimes both. But if the adult is borderline along with narcissistic, they will often say things to throw the child off guard. Sometimes they will do things to cause him or her to wonder what's going to happen next, and wonder how they're going to calm the situation down or prevent something bad from happening, prevent mom from hitting them, prevent dad from smashing their toys with a baseball bat, or whatever reaction the disturbed narcissistic borderline adult might have. The child will never be able to calm that adult down or to prevent bad things from happening, because indeed the adult is in control of their own actions and emotions, or in this case, out of control and needs to get control of them. The human being is not created to be able to handle the constant up and down of the narcissism and the borderline, especially the borderline as well. They can't be on hyper alert all day and not have that affect the mind and the body. And being raised as a child of a narcissist, you are always on this hyper alert. Hyper vigilance is what they call it in post-traumatic stress, which I believe a lot of children of narcissists grow up and have throughout their life until they get some help for it. So being on this hyper alert pumps up your adrenaline so high that you end up sick. You end up with being kind of clumsy at times. You're always worried. You're always looking over your shoulder, that kind of thing. This will program the child, this constant state of hyper alert, to have overworked adrenal glands. If you know anything about the adrenaline system, it is responsible for a lot of things in the body. And when the adrenals are overtaxed, the person can have really bad problems with a lot of different things, including thyroid issues, kidney issues, I think even liver issues. I'm not really sure. But overtaxed adrenal systems are responsible for a lot of illness. So if you grew up and you had chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, things like that, and you were an abuse victim, let's just say I'm not surprised. So stay tuned. I'm hopefully going to conclude this series on why it was not your fault. Thanks. Stay tuned.